Hello there everyone, this is Celtic 30 and we're going to be now playing Phantasy Star 4, Part 4. So after finding all the items here in Kadari, we're going to actually make our way from the town to this fortress over here known as Zeal's Fort. Now in this area here, it's going to be mainly creatures of the dark, but also wish I can go down that way, but unfortunately there is a visible barrier. So we're going to have to work our way around. Now a lot of these enemies can be powerful in groups at a time, so we're just going to take our time and heal when we can. For example, now we're facing against these two Rippers. Now they have two types of attacks. They have a Fire Breath which does that, and also they have a Scythe attack. Now we're gonna actually go up here and use the stairs, so we're gonna find a very much 2000 Mercedes. And these two here are actually one of my favorite enemies, a few of them, besides the Warren 238s or 236s. These ones here are the Shadow Sabers. Now, often if you are able to get lucky with the drops, they will actually drop a weapon known as the Shadow Blade. It's not strong as the laser swords or any other sword, but it does have the ability to randomly kill an enemy. But the stats, I think, or the chances of them dropping are 16 to 1, not 16 to 1, but 1 in 16 chance. So it could be very low or it could be very nice. But the enemy, they also have this defensive skill called the Bond, so it will increase their defenses more. Certain depending on their mentality. And with Alys only else, she learned the second foe ability known as the Guffaw. Just an upgraded version. And I do apologize if I'm not making much sense or if my voice is really deep because I'm just trying to get over this cold. So we're gonna make our way through here, and within that chest is a powerful laser sword. This will actually help us a bit on the long run. Now we'll head backwards here. And we're actually gonna go to this hole. And right in there is a very powerful item known as the Moon Dew. What it does is anytime if our allies are dying, we can actually use this item on them and it will revive them. Also, I'd like to point out too that for the item drops, these tech users will actually drop a wood cane if we're lucky. A lot of annoying times I'm there, they will use rest for certain to recover. I think it's their other forms. They can actually use SAR, which actually heals all on their side of some HP. Now we're going to do some bit exploring here before we actually make our way to the main area. I think I thought there was semis around there, but like I said, it's been, well, not really like I said, but around that time, I haven't played this game fully for years, but it's still somewhat good in my memory. Okay, so there's nothing there, so we're gonna actually head backwards the way we were, where we found that laser sword. But if you notice all these statues in there, it kind of gives off a hint of one of the few main enemies, for certain, like one of the bosses that will be coming soon. Alright, so we're gonna head down towards this way, but we might take that path back. And the only time they'll use the bond, or these shadow sabers, is when their HP is halfway low. But if it's laser weapons, or if it's a stronger physical attack, it won't be much of a hindrance. It's always, I think it's, yeah, there's another shadow saber. Sorry about that. Like I said, it's just as cold, it's really affecting me right now. So there's nothing there, so it looks like I thought there would be something hidden here, but I was wrong. But in hindsight, we're kind of also level grinding at the same time, so there is a purpose in there. We're also gonna actually kind of set up our macro systems here, because there was another skill, a macro combination I remember seeing. It was known as the lethal image. For that to work, you need eliminate from Rika and death from Alys. In order for it to work, what it does, it takes Alys's insta kill with one enemy and multiply it. But the chances are kind of low. But we got everyone to level up, and Rika learned the Garess ability. Or technique, rather. Why do I keep mentioning that like that? I don't know. I was just cracking my knuckles right there. Okay, so we're not gonna go into this hole. We're gonna take the stairs up here. Then we're gonna head over to this section here. We're going to pick up another weapon. This is for Rika. And this chest here will be a laser claw. I think we did recover, but unless I may have not have. And this guy here, his name is Juza. And we gotta fight this guy. We gotta fight this bastard right here. So we're gonna use some attacks. We're gonna increase our strength. We're gonna increase our dexterity, and we're also gonna increase our speed. Now with Juza, he's actually considered one of the magicians, so you mostly use magic attacks, except he does have his own skill attack called Force Flash. Yeah, I think it's called Force Flash, yeah. Which hits everyone like a ton of bricks. So when that happens, make sure you get your healers ready, and we're gonna keep fighting. And both Rika and Chaz have been effective with the shift ability, so their attack power will be stronger. Yeah, like I said, that's Force Flash. So not only will it be just Juza by himself that will learn that, but his other forms, his other enemy forms, will also have that same attack as well. Also, we'll be using Sue more often because that's actually a light attack. And oh no, we lost Hahn. But now we're gonna actually use the item that I did mention earlier when we get a chance. And the item, like I said, I mentioned, is actually the Moon Dew, which is actually a perfect example to use so you can see what it does. Again. There we go. It reverses actually dying state. So Chaz is back in the battle. Not Chaz, but Hahn is back in the battle. And with that, Juza is defeated, with everyone still alive. But we're gonna do a little quick recovery here, just in case if we encountered an enemy as we're climbing up here again. Sorry about that again, man. And right here we find Demi. That's him. Okay, so a few key things here that I put on for stats wise. What you just saw was Zeal using his magic barrier. When that happens, no attacks can hurt him physically. Any technique or skill will actually hurt him only by 1 point of HP. Instant death attacks won't work. Because not only is it just because of the magic barrier thing, but also since he is a boss, those instant death attacks just simply won't work. So as I'm demonstrating here, that some skills won't work, except for physical skills and magic attacks. Until he pulls out this skill called Nightmare, which now becomes a real big problem. Because while his magic barrier is in effect, combined with Nightmare, and he does this attack called the Black Wave, it's an instant death attack no matter what stats are to prevent it. Wait a minute. Oh no! Alys! And there's also a error here. They're referring to Zero as a she, but it's actually a he. So with all this dramatic impact here, our next destination is quite clear. We'll have to head over to what they described the Ladea Tower. But also, that means our party formation is going to change as well. So you'll see on the right hand side of the screen that I will be making some changes. So we're going to lose 2 members, but we'll be getting an extra member. We're going to save here, then we're going to head to our destination. So as you can see on here, Alys is in critical condition. That means we cannot have her in the party. And also, Hahn is removed from the party as well, so that way he can take care of her. But in return, we do get to fight with Demi. Now, with Demi, since she's an android, she can't use any technical power. And her skills are mostly mechanical. So that means her mentals will be 0, and her technical points will also be 0. But with those 2 gone, actually her strength and agility and the dexterity will be more higher. And as you can see, we found the machine center. So pardon me for that again, because I woke up early. So we're going to go to this chest here, find a control key. You will need this right before you even enter the next part here. And what you saw me walking and landing in that yellow area there, that's actually a healing spot. Very useful when we had to go around to heal for free. Alright, now we're gonna sorry, my words are not forming. So what we're gonna be introduced to is a new battle system in here within the game. It's the vehicle system. Now what it is, we can actually use this vehicle to traverse more quickly. But the only other downside is we're going to be fighting a whole bunch of new enemies at the same time. So these are called vehicle enemies. As you can see with the Land Rover, we can actually go through quick save with no problem. And now there's these new vehicle enemies. But by doing so, we also gain regular attacks and also optional weapons. As you saw there, I used the cluster attack, which is very popular in this game. And there's also a gravity blast, which does help too. While we're here, this is the town of Monson. Yeah, I think it's Monson. No, wait, no. Was it Monson? Well, anyways, we're gonna actually head over to Ado, but we're gonna do a quick side quest here with the guilds, the Hunters Guild, sorry. But we're going to go to this little hidden area here, and we're going to find the bakery. Now, with this bakery here sells only one item by a lot of it. It is actually the shortcakes. And the reason why we're buying the shortcake, no, it's kind of like a weak monomate if you use it in battle like a regular item. But this is actually an item that we're going to actually need for this quest. Sorry, pardon me for a second, I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I just had to go blow my nose. So after we accepted the Hunters Guild mission known as Tinkerbell's dog, we're gonna head over here to the Tinkerbell family, and we've just been told that it likes this. The pet's name is Rocky, and it likes to wander. So we are gonna head over to Krupp first, because that's when I know that's when I first saw the dog. And normally it'll be right in this corner here near the swans. But now you can see it's gone. So it's saying it's going to go north. Now we're going to actually head over to, yep, it is Monson, I was correct. I hit Malcolm by accident. So we're going to use Roku again to go to Monson. And this time we should see Rocky over there. And Rocky should be right down this corner. Yes, he is. We're gonna feed the dog some shortcake. Alright, so we'll head back to the Hunters Guild and get our commission, then we're going to head back to Monson after. And as you noticed in the video here, that the earthquakes are a lot more realistic. But what I did was I actually created a camera effect for any earthquake that happened, like when the ground shakes. I made it more realistic. So it's not just vibrate, but also violently vibrating. So we're gonna head over here. We're gonna actually rest at the end because it does take a lot of technical power to use Ryuka to travel. Now I'm gonna talk to. Okay, you can see the crops are really bad up there. Now it's actually gonna confirm that the Ladea Tower is in the peninsula. Yeah, there's a conclusion right there. Yeah, I made it more violent. And on there, I could kind of tell he was getting more red with embarrassment. But now she discovers, I should not discover, but Debbie tells them that the real cause for the earthquake is because the plate system is malfunctioning somewhere. Sorry about that. So we're gonna go for a side tour, but this is actually gonna be worth it for our help. So we're gonna actually head to the item shop here and we're gonna pick up a few items. A few demots. Did I use? I think I did use them. And also we're gonna pick up a escape just in case. It is gonna be a little bit tougher, but oh yeah, we're gonna sell some items here. As I was trying to say, it's going to be a little bit more tougher during this time around. Because normally it would be a 5-member party in this one, but we're down by 1. So there will be more experience earned, it's just going to be a little bit more challenging. So the place system is actually up to the north here. Right in that spot there. Now with the place system here, this area is not... The only creatures in here would be is mechanoloids, or mechanical creatures. And they do pack more of a punch than the ones in the wreckage area. And we'll pick up the first item that actually works well with the androids, the repair kit. But it kind of is a bit redundant, if you ask me, for that. Because even if an android falls in battle, it will automatically revive itself with its self-repair systems. So as you keep walking through it, they will recover HP one step at a time. Now we're going to go down here, and it is red. But we're gonna find more enemies like these seekers here. But remember, as I said, even with androids can't use magical abilities or techniques, their skills are actually based on greatly to paralyze enemies like organics and creatures of the dark. But also they have the instant death skill called Spark, which affects mechanoids even easier. So it'll cause instant death on them when it hits and if it hits. Now what we're going to do is we're actually trying to make our way through it, right down to the main CPU unit. Yes, I'm going to go grab myself a lozenge. Go. Now we're gonna head down over this area here to find the elevators. Oh, and these big guys here are really strong. You know, I don't like the term they used to create this guy, but he actually has two forms. His first form is called Slave, which he just hurts, but his second form is Servant, and they really have a nasty attack called the, what was this? Oh, Motor Cannon, which hits everybody. This area here, we're just gonna easily just take our time. We'll recover at the same time, and we'll make it. Now we have Rika that learned her defensive skill, the Bond. Oh yeah, these holes are helping for certain. Oh yeah, these big guys right here, the loaders, they do pack somewhat of a punch. So if we go over this way here, then we should go right towards the right. We'll be going down an elevator. And also, there's some good types you can actually run. That does help. Yep, there's the elevator. Then we're gonna take this way. Then this right here is actually a good area because we got 4 treasure chests to look through. No, sorry, three. Sorry, pardon me. So yeah, I just had to stretch there. Actually, there is 4 chests. I was mistaken. That chest right there is actually a important item that we will get to after completing this task. So we got a laser axe for Grizz here, and it will actually boost his strength up, so it almost matches Chaz's. Which I find ironic that even though Grizz has more strength, his attack power is less than Chaz's. Alright, so we got another gun for Demi here, the stun shot. Now, with the stun shot, if it's against organic or creatures of the dark, it'll actually stun them by chance. And with it, the system is down for now. Now with that system down, we're gonna actually work our way over to get that chest as I mentioned earlier. So we're just gonna be careful and we'll run when we need to, if running's an option. If it says cannot escape, well, we're just gonna counterattack. Because those attacks hurt. And we'll use our debates that we bought to heal. Oh, worker pods. Uh-oh. No! Chaz is down! Chaz is down! We gotta heal him! But we don't have a moon. Actually, we do have a power. We have the medic power. So medic power also works as Rever as well. So Chaz will be healed from the dying state. As you can see, the lines are no longer glowing. That means we did shut the system off completely. But we're going to head over this way and get that chest. We have no more sparks left, so that means we can't use her as a death attack. Well, gang up attack works well. Oops, sorry, pardon me. Now we're gonna go up this way and we're gonna get that chest. Huh? What the heck? Dude, Demi's a lady. So yeah, close her eyes, please. And now we're going to test that set skill. So as you can see on the Phantasy, it fires supersonic waves that causes destruction. And also it could be one half of the skill that Chaz has. That we could actually use the macro skill called Silent Wave. The combination of Chaz's Air Slash and Demi's Phantasy. We're gonna go up here. Normally I think oh yeah, we're gonna get that chest over there. I forgot about that one. Now once we get that chest there, we're going to use the escape and we're going to leave this area. Oh, don't beat me up, please. Don't beat me up. Not with that metal pipe right there. No, no. What's this? I hear about your mechanoid slave beating other slaves. I'll be sure that you don't do that anymore, bub. If that joke I just said offended anyone, I do apologize. So we're gonna open up this chest here. That should contain ceramic armor for Demi. Forgot all about that. So her defense will go up greatly. Oh, I thought I used the escape here, but oh yeah, yes I did. Alright, with that we're gonna actually use the Land Rover. Then we're going to drive over to the next town of Termai. So here we're going to recover and also we're going to take a look at the land. Also, we're gonna increase our stats here with getting some new armor. Oh, sorry about that. Now with this armor here, it's called the psychic armor. So that actually does help towards mentalness. So we're gonna get the side crowd and 3 side males. Also, we're gonna sell our old gear here too, so we'll be fine for that. And there we go. So go ahead and equip those items. We'll also sell the old items, just make space. The next what we'll do is we're going to head over to this one item shop above on the hill here. So we're going to take this direction. So we're going to get the Alys sword, the pennant, Paralamate, the pennant, and the wood carving. Now these 2 items here, the pennant wood carving is just to put into their home in Ado. Oh, sorry. Then we're going to head over to this statue here, because this is actually paying homage to the first Phantasy Star hero, Alys Landau. So once we got all that done, we're going to leave Termite and then head towards the Ladea Tower. But we're going to take this Land Rover just in case if we came across a powerful enemy here, which would be the sandworms. Alright, so we're going to save here. Thank you for watching. This is Celtic 30, signing off.